Introducing Animation Station from Sample Logic. This plugin is a powerful MIDI arpeggiator and step sequencer that runs in most major DAWs. Load it alongside your favourite virtual instruments, and within seconds you can transform static synths into soaring arpeggios and chord sequences. Use it on string or woodwind patches to create driving ostinati. Animation Station even works with drums and percussion. You can randomize, browse the hundreds of presets, save and load your own creations, and export the MIDI to multiple tracks in your DAW. You can use this plugin to power any kind of MIDI-triggered audio, completely transforming it in the process. As you can hear, this isn't just a tool for one type of music. In this video, I'll be exploring all of the features of Animation Station and showing how you can use it to bring rhythm and life to your software and hardware instruments. I'll be demoing presets and also diving deep into the engine to explain how you can create your own sequences. Once installed and loaded up, Animation Station needs to be routed through an instrument. Exactly how to do this will vary depending on your DAW, so consult the comprehensive manual for specific instructions for Logic, Ableton, Cubase, Pro Tools, Studio One, and more. The main thing to keep in mind is that Animation Station doesn't contain any sounds of its own. It's a MIDI triggering device for your other instruments, so the scope of use is only limited by the instruments that you already have. This is the main interface of the plugin, and we've kept things super simple with all of the main controls on this front panel. You can hover your mouse over various icons for a full explanation of that particular function. Stretch and squash the interface by dragging just here. This is the linear view, a window that you might be familiar with if you've ever used a Sample Logic contact instrument before, as many of the sequencer options are identical, albeit expanded in functionality. Click here for the circle view, an alternative way to look at the sequence with more limited parameter adjustments. Back to the linear overview, and along the top is where you can find the majority of the global editing options, from randomization, step shuffling and duplicating, to syncing, speed, octave, and step adjustments. You can use the step overview scroll bar at the bottom of the window to focus in on specific sections of the sequence. At the left of the window are the line items for each step, on and off, step rate, arp type, velocity, duration, transposition, and stutter rate. These line items all have preset drop-downs too, and I'll look at those aspects in a sec. Each step can have the various values adjusted, either by dragging or via drop-downs. Plus, you can reorder steps by clicking and dragging them. You can link steps together for bulk editing. Just click the little chain link icon under each step that you want to affect. And to delete a step, just hit the trash icon. When you don't have enough steps to fill a bar, this auto-fill button will appear. Click it to add the missing number of steps so that your sequence finishes at bar end. For any change, you can undo and redo using these icons. There's also a hidden menu behind the three dots here for setting up playback settings such as gate, velocity sensitivity and humanization, swing style, and playback direction. Click at the top into Randomization for access to randomization settings, including allowing the randomization algorithm to draw inspiration from the presets, different kinds of rate modes, locking into different types of scales, and other options for customizing randomization. So let's turn to the instrument presets, accessible just here. Flick through them with the arrows, or click here for the full preset browser. In this browser, you can choose a preset from the 4 folders: Workhorse, Standard Sequences and ARPs, Transposed Melodies and Chord Sequences, Glitched and Stutter Effects, or Drum Machine Patterns. There's also a folder named User Presets for you to save your own creations. Here's a few examples of some presets in action. If there are particular presets that you love and you want to favourite, click the little heart icon next to the name. Then you can filter just by favourite presets. Pick a random preset with the dice icon. Reset to initial values here, and save your own presets with this icon. At this point, I want to show you the Midi Export options. This is a great way to get sequences from Animation Station right into your DAW for further tweaking, or just for fun so that you can see how your sequences look. This process is really simple. Just play a sequence using Animation Station in the normal way, letting the arpeggiator run through. Then stop and click this little MIDI icon, dragging the MIDI into your DAW, either onto a new track or existing ones. You can then edit that new MIDI data however you like. In addition, you can also record the output of Animation Station directly into a new instrument track with some clever routing in your project, depending on your DAW. Now let's have a quick look at the intelligent randomization, a big aspect of Animation Station. Clicking this dice icon will randomize the performance parameters of all of the steps. How much randomization is up to you, as you can click into these 3 dots and then check or uncheck the boxes, depending on which aspects of the sound you want the randomization to affect. For deeper control, use the advanced randomization controls here, where you can choose either total random values or drawing from the wealth of presets. Rate Choose mode has 3 options for shuffling the existing steps, quantizing to a whole bar, or complete chaos. You can force the random transposing into a certain scale. There are also options for affecting only the linked steps, randomizing every playback cycle, and overall amount of randomization. By now you can probably see the power of Animation Station just from the presets and randomization, but of course you can easily design your own sequences, so let's quickly run through that process. I'll use a super basic synth so you can hear exactly what's going on. As I explained earlier, you can adjust the global controls of the sequence at the top just here. BPM, locked to your host DAW or not, half, double or normal time, octave setting, and number of steps from 1 to 64. Then down the side, each step has an option for being on or off, the length or rate of the step, arpeggio type, velocity and duration of the note, transpose value and stutter rate. You can edit each step individually Or there are some cool editing tricks as well. For example, right-click on a velocity slider to draw precise linear velocity values, or just click and drag for multiple changes. These two controls shuffle the steps or automatically double the number of steps. You can also undo and redo your editing with these two arrows. Every single line item parameter has presets, accessible from the left and right arrows or from drop-downs. Some of these are worth exploring a bit more deeply. For example, arp type and stutter rate can work together to create some very cool chord jumping effects. If you set octave to higher or lower than 0, arp to chord alternating, and stutter to alternating. You can also achieve chiptune style chord effects with fast alternating stutter rates and up or down arp types. Don't forget that you can always visualize your sequence with the circle view. Do check out the manual for a whole host of other fun options to make your MIDI really come alive. One final thing to cover, which adds a really creative way to live play your animations, this icon just here, which opens the keyboard setting menu. Here you can assign key switches to switch your playback into half or double time, freeze the sequence at the current step, or instantly turn on stutter. You can also set your mod wheel to directly control step duration or velocity, a great way to build big musical moments. Hopefully that's given you a good idea of what Animation Station is all about, a really fun and creative plugin for any type of MIDI-triggered audio, bursting with ideas and inspiration at the click of a button. For more information, head to samplelogic.com, and thanks for watching.